Last week I watched The Batman, and I found myself drawn in by the way Bruce Wayne's character is portrayed. As the film progresses, Batman's understanding of his purpose seems to shift from vengeance to hope, and it got me thinking, what is the philosophy of the Batman? Taking into account that he was raised by Alfred, an ex-military man who blames himself for Bruce's vengeful crusade, I've come to believe that the philosophy of Batman is forming into one of Stoicism. The word Stoic is often used to describe someone who remains calm under pressure and avoids emotional extremes, but the actual philosophy of Stoicism is so much more than this. Stoicism teaches that some things we can change and some things we cannot, and that we should only focus on what we can control and find purpose whilst practicing the four virtues of courage, wisdom, justice, and moderation. Courage is the state of standing strong and thinking correctly in dangerous and fearful situations. We see Batman embody this virtue when he saves this boy, gets shot, and gets blown up, which seems pretty courageous to me. There's an argument to be made though, that he's not so much courageous as he is suicidal, and simply manifesting his anger. But I would argue that this mentality changes when he fears for Alfred's life after the Riddler's attack, making him realize for the first time that he should protect the city of Gotham and its people instead of terrorize them. Wisdom is the ability to differentiate what is good, what is bad, and what is neither, allowing us to make calm, logical decisions based on our knowledge and experience. We see Batman display his wisdom throughout the film as he analyzes crime scenes, riddles, and high-pressure situations with calm and logic. So there's an obvious issue in that Batman is yet to master his emotions, and that logic and experience tells us that punching people and locking them up is not conducive to rehabilitation. But it seems to me that Bruce is already contemplating the ineffectiveness at the start of the film, and through his interactions with Selina Kyle and the Riddler, he begins to realize his wealth and status can do more for rehabilitation than retributive justice. Justice is always doing what is right and fair, especially in times of weakness and adversity. Batman's sense of justice seems clear with his no-killing rule. No matter if someone has killed before, they must be apprehended, not killed. But is this really justice, or is it just his sense of morality? What's important to understand is that justice we often seek is retributive justice, a feeling of righteousness of what is owed to us when we've been wronged. It's often steeped in our own desires, where we believe those who make others suffer must duly suffer themselves. You know, an eye for an eye. Or in a word, vengeance. Not only is this proven to be counterproductive to rehabilitation, but when enacted by Batman, it becomes a claim to absolute power. Absolute in that he and only he decides how to enact it and whom upon, proving this sense of justice to be self-serving and emotionally charged, traits that definitely don't align with Stoicism. However, what is apparent to me is Bruce's gradual understanding of this as the film progresses. We see him turn his vengeance into hope, and it seems to dawn on him that he can enact rehabilitation with his wealth and not his fists. My only question is, if he uses measured force only to protect and apprehend others, whilst using his wealth to change the system from the inside, how would you describe his actions then? Justice. Moderation is the exercise of self-restraint, self-discipline, and self-control in all aspects of life, which Batman displays. Okay, he doesn't practice this at all, which makes it the greatest point of contention against Batman's Stoicism. I admit, Batman isn't quite the embodiment of Stoicism yet, but I do believe this version of him will prove to be more than just another confused boy enacting his unresolved trauma as self-serving vengeance. And though he clearly has a short-sighted view of justice to begin with, I believe we see this evolve throughout the film as he changes from "I'm vengeance" to being a guiding light, which shows his realization that it isn't fear but hope that he should instill in Gotham to lift his people out of crime and poverty. And it's for this reason, I believe we'll see a transformation to more altruistic virtues, and by the end, we'll see a stoic Batman,